What's good, y'all? It's your homie Big T.
And I'm Tay Renee.
And you're listening to the only podcast that brings you latest in music news and fashion from the TOL, and the only show that keeps our ears to the streets.
While you grind in the 419.
All right, so this is take
3001.
I don't even know. I done lost count. All right, so we have a very special pregame edition of Mud Talk this week. And moving forward, we are hosting auditions because we are branching off to a new show called Teen Talk that's going to be coming up in 2023. But we have some lovely ladies who are auditioning for the show, right?
So would you ladies like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Tashayla. I'm Azaria.
And I'm Talia.
All right, and they have a podcast. What's the podcast called?
Three Peas in a Pod.
So look, they even say everything. It's like a little Destiny's Child. I like it. All right, so they have a podcast called Three Peas in a Pod, and they are coming on to audition for the show. We're gonna see if they're a good fit. We have some other people who's gonna be coming on audition, so we're gonna be doing some multiple rounds of auditioning. So we're gonna see. But before we do that, y'all know I gotta get y'all tapped in and plugged into the news. So first things first. There's a new scholarship that's going to allow Monroe County students to get in-state tuition at BGSU. So students from Monroe County, Michigan will have the opportunity to attend BGSU at an in-state tuition price with a new scholarship. The new scholarship, you must have a 3.0 GPA, a 20 on the ACT, or a 1040 on an SAT following a new transfer student application to BGSU. The scholarship amount, y'all ready for this? $7,988.40.
Sign me up.
Hold on, we cannot go to BGSU. That's all I gotta say. BGSU said the scholarship is renewable once at the university, and the money covers the non-resident tuition fee. The application deadline is January 18, 2023, and students can apply at any time and will be considered after admission. That's what's up. What y'all think about that?
I think that's dope. Yeah, BG is a good school.
BG is a very good school, and when it comes to paying college, we need all the coins we can get. Okay? And I'm speaking from a parent standpoint. I ain't even talking about y'all. I'm talking about me as a parent. Okay? So if my son was at BGSU, I'm gonna have him move to Michigan real quick so we can get that in-state tuition. That's all I'm gonna say. All right. So next on the list is Horizon Science Academy had to close Friday due to lack of substitutes. With 5 teachers out, sick, and no replacement, school representatives said they thought it's best to use a calamity day rather than double up on classrooms. They said they were unable to absorb the 5 call-offs, and instead they had to make a decision. School will reopen on Tuesday with the hopes that they will have enough staff to cover all of the classrooms. So there is a teacher shortage right now. So I advise y'all, man, if you love kids or you like working with kids, please go and get your substitute license. It's $25. Right now, they are looking for anybody, okay? You need to have a bachelor's degree right now. So we are desperately looking for people to get into these classrooms and make sure these babies can get an education, because otherwise school's going to have to start shutting down and teachers going to be walking out. I can't even imagine having more than 30 kids in the class. I still think 30 is too much in the classroom.
Anyway. It is.
So just imagine to double up in the classroom because ain't nobody show up to school. Absolutely not. Either shut down or I'm going to walk out.
At that point, put them all in the auditorium or the gym.
Or guess what? We're going back virtual. That's all I'm saying. So, all right. So that was making sure y'all was plugged and tapped into the news, y'all. So here we go. All right. So as we said before, we do have 3 lovely ladies in the building. We have Tashayla, we have Azaria. Can we call you Zoe? I'm gonna call you Zoe. Okay. And we got Talia in the building for 3 Peas in the Pod. So before we get started, tell us a little bit about you ladies.
Okay, so we're freshly graduated from high school. I graduated from START, and then they graduated from Bowser High School. And our podcast originated from, I was taking senior comm at the time, and that was one of our assignments was to create a podcast. So I was just like, oh, this is so exciting. I'm going to have my friends do it with me. And, we just been like covering our lives and stuff that go around the city and like talk about school, mental health, and advocating and providing information for our peers.
All right, that's what's up. Now, you said it started off as a senior project. What made you guys want to continue doing this after you graduated from high school?
It was fun. It's fun. So like
it's therapeutic.
It's an outlet. We talk about different things.
Yeah,
it was kind of like putting our voices out there on the platform to have everybody listening, like no matter what age, race, gender. Like we talk about this stuff normally to each other, like it's a normal conversation. We talk about it to other people so other people can know.
All right, that's what's up. So we have Miss Amy. So Miss Amy is our love and relationship coach here on the show. She couldn't be here, but she also discusses mental health and whatnot. So she wanted to send some questions to ask you guys. All right. So her first question was, what makes your voices ones that other kids or teens would want to hear about?
Well, we all young and like women of color, so I feel like what we have to say would resonate more than if it would come from like an adult, just because it's just like,
the same stuff y'all going through, we get it. So.
And it's relatable.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. All right. Her next question was, how will you reach the youth across a variety of cultures? Because you talked about being a woman of color, but there may be some people who are not women of color or people of color. So how are you going to make sure that you will reach across all different cultures?
Well, mostly like the topics we talk about is not like just single for one gender or one race, because a lot of stuff is like collective. Like it could affect all women, or it could affect like all teenagers, all races, stuff like that. So we like just try to bring out information that's for everybody, not just for like the Black community.
It's like the Black community is not the only community that's going through stuff too. So it's like, we could be going through similar things. So
Okay, that's what's up. She asked, what do you like on your pizza?
Cheese all day.
Cheese all day. Okay.
Yeah, I could do a good cheese or chicken and banana peppers.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I like pepperoni or, like she said, chicken banana peppers.
Like for butter chicken, huh?
Or mushrooms. I like mushrooms on my pizza.
Oh, really? I'm not a mushroom.
You lost us there.
You had us until just in the last quarter. We was like,
expand your palate.
No,
I don't like
palate to expand with mushrooms. It's just
there
mush.
you go. All right, that's what's up. You got any questions for them, Michelle?
Yes. As a podcast, have you guys overcame any obstacles?
Yeah, our schedules, like I said, our schedules clash. So it's like, what y'all doing? Y'all free on this day? And it's like, no, we're not free on this day. So we just overcoming our schedules and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're trying to like become more consistent with our content, and just trying to like spread our words, and also to get like proper equipment. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expand our platform. So outside of your podcast, what other hobbies do you guys like?
I wouldn't say I'm an artsy person, but kind of like I like patches and clothes and things like that. I really like fashion.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we all have like the same like stuff we into because we've like been around each other for so long. But like painting and listening to music.
Yeah, one way to connect is music. We love
music.
So what's on y'all playlist?
Everything. I listen to rock music. I listen to not so much country. Like if a song got a good beat.
And that's like
and I can vibe to it, I'm gonna add it to my playlist.
If you get us moving like a little shoulder shrug,
let's go to
it. Okay.
So what is one song that's out right now that's like y'all go to? If y'all ever in the mood and y'all need to pick me up.
I feel like us as a group when we in the car, Cuff It by Beyonce.
Okay.
Or America's Got a Problem, turn that all the way up.
Okay, the Beyonce album.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What are some issues that you guys are passionate about?
Bullying.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just big on advocating, especially for like I wouldn't just say the Black community, but people of color in general, because it's just like we always get the short end of the stick, and I just want to like make sure that everybody's getting treated equally in the medical, academic, the law area. So
and that's what I love about Zoe, because like she'll say stuff because like I'm not a talkative person, kind of shy, and so she'll say something and I'll just be like, yeah, exactly what I was.
I'm big on mental health because, like I said, I'm learning to deal with my own. So it's like helping other people learn about it and learning how to deal with it is big to me.
Okay.
All
right, that's what's up. So normally on the show we do what's called Tips with T. So I don't have my tips with T ready this week, but this week we are talking about 5 things that you should not do when you slide into somebody's DMs. Now, coming from a teen perspective and young adult perspective, what are some things that people should not do when they're sliding into people's DMs?
Okay, so
I think she's about to say what I'm gonna say, but I'm not gonna say it.
How do I explain? So like this happened recently to where like somebody like tried to talk to me, but like they started talking about sex really fast. Like he's like, when are we linking? I'm like, I only know you for one day. I've been texting you for one day. I don't know what you got going on.
Right.
He's like, yeah, we need to link. I'm like, okay, maybe farther out, but not right now.
Yeah. Right. You could be a catfish, bro. I know you. I axe murderer.
Yeah.
I don't know you. I'm not linking with you.
And
Okay.
these days and age with like trafficking and things like that, you do have to be very careful and leery about, especially people you meet online.
Yeah.
Like, even the ones you know.
Mhm.
So you just have to, watch your back and, be careful about your surroundings.
My bad. That was it. I'm sorry.
My thing is, it's just like, okay, you interested in me, then like carry a conversation. Don't be like, what you doing every 5 minutes? Because I told you I'm doing the same thing I was doing 2 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, that gets old quick.
Those 3 letters.
Yeah.
WYD.
Literally.
Yeah. And I know some people hate the when you gonna come see me.
Never.
Yeah.
Like,
Never.
My biggest thing be plan something. If you really want to see me that bad, plan something.
Ask me out.
Carve out that time. Just like I need to carve it out because I need to know my schedule 3 days in advance. Don't hit me up. Oh, let's go. Let's link and let's go here. No, I had other plans or other obligations. I just don't always have free time. And sometimes you need to play. Even if you do got free time, don't always jump for them.
Yeah, you gotta play hard to get.
Yeah.
Because these dudes eat
That's Sagittarius.
Banking off what you said, I was gonna say, don't waste my time. Like you coming to me, and then you come out hard, and then you don't keep up.
Acting nonchalant.
Yeah.
Like, you give me this, start shooting.
Consistency, yes. Don't, because after you want me, you waste my time.
Absolutely. Okay.
So, and time is something we don't have a lot of, and you can't get it back. So, and to me, it's more valuable than money.
Especially if like I'm investing my time into you and only you, because I don't like talking to multiple people. Like I'm not doing what you doing. I'm like, if I'm talking to you and messing with you, we going on dates, we kicking it. It's only you. So like, if you playing games, I feel like you owe me an apology. As simple as that.
I think that's our problem.
Yeah.
like talking to multiple people, it's like too much.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
It gets too messy. Be like, oh wait, who is this? Because I don't say numbers. Like
we are.
And I get attached fast, so like I'm not about to be talking to this person. I can't be player.
we ain't pushing you over.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. Same girl. Same girl. So my biggest one that is going to be on the show. Don't send people unsolicited stuff in their inboxes. Okay.
Yes.
Videos, pictures, comments, like no. That's no.
Because now you're going down.
Man.
Definitely getting blocked, definitely getting reported. But yeah,
I actually had that happen to me. I was on vacation in Vegas. This was about 4 years ago. Woke up, Vegas time, it was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Woke up to somebody, sent voice calling me on Facebook. And so I sleepily answered it, not paying attention. And it was a guy on there who was touching his stuff inappropriately. And it instantly freaked me out. And I hung up. He kept calling back. I blocked him. I think he called from another profile. And I'm like, oh my God, I was just so scared. I didn't know who he was, where he came from, and how he came upon my profile. So,
and y'all have to be careful with that kind of stuff because y'all don't know what people have gone through. That could be a trigger for them, for people who may have been molested or sexually abused or raped or whatever. So just to jump to somebody's DM and just do stuff like that, that's not cool. That's not all right. Yeah. So not cool at all. All right. Well, so do you have any this or that questions for them? If you never do this or that.
Sure. Okay. Movies or books?
Movies.
That's hard because a book be better than a movie.
Yeah, and I think I would say books, but only because when you read it, you can use your imagination. The characters, you can, I don't know. I have books. You get lost in the book.
Yeah, I used to be a big book person, but I remember I was reading a book and I started over 5 times because I started reading it. So,
what's your favorite book to read?
Okay, it's this author. She's a Black woman. Her name is Tiffany D. Jackson.
Okay.
She has this book called Allegedly, which is the book is crazy. It's fiction. It's really good. Monday's Not Coming. I haven't read that yet.
Gosh, that's a good.
It's on my shelf. Tanaya's been begging me to read it
because we read it in the Upper Bound. It was
and
loophole through loophole. I said,
and this is a book by her called Grown, and it gives R. Kelly tease. It talks about She's a great author.
Awesome.
I recommend her.
I don't have a favorite book because I feel like, ooh, that look interesting, and then it like sit in the corner for like a couple weeks. Or I like started on nonfiction. But one book I would recommend is The 5 Years We Meet in Heaven. Like I really like that book. It was about a guy who was working at a carnival and a ride malfunctioned, and he ended up dying trying to save a passenger, and then like it's kind of like Soul, but like and then it goes through the people that you meet in heaven and stuff like that, like their journey. So I thought that was a good book.
I don't have a favorite book either, but I forgot what it's called. But I read this one book, and it was about this young Black man. I forgot how old he was. He was a teenager, and he ended up getting arrested and charged with something that he did not do. And I know he went to trial. I don't know if he got off or he's still in jail, but it was like a really good book.
Is it the book of Verdant here?
No, I had this book on my own.
That was Tim Burton.
Yeah.
That sounds like the Brian Banks story.
It actually sound like what's the show that's on Netflix? Central Park 5.
Oh
Yeah, that too.
I couldn't finish that.
It was another.
I can't watch it again.
Yeah, I didn't even get through the first episode. I was like, this is a lot.
Yeah, I was heated watching that.
Yeah, no.
I actually made my son watch it because I wanted him to see it from a young Black male's perspective that sometimes, and I've stressed this a lot, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not, what you're doing, but it's who you have around you as well. And sometimes you need to pay attention and be careful with the company you keep.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. So I have a this or that question. Movie or short series? Actually, I'll take this back. Movie or series?
Series.
Okay. What's your favorite series?
Stranger Things.
Okay.
Stranger Things is the one, and I added some on my list on Netflix, but I don't remember the name. But Stranger Things.
Okay.
Yeah, they took it off Netflix. Criminal Minds. I was so mad about it. They did. I thought that was a fever dream because I first played it.
You was over my house when we found out they put it back.
I forgot that fast. Yeah, Criminal Minds.
Oh, Criminal Minds. Okay. You got a favorite one, Michelle?
I don't have. Law and Order. I can watch Law and Order. SVB.
Yeah. There's like 30 seasons, so
it's 23. And I've seen every episode.
Mine would be The Handmaid's Tale, which is really good on Hulu.
I got into that a couple years ago, and I need to finish.
Yeah. So the new season is getting ready to come on in like 2 weeks. So that and Grownish is my favorite one.
I really was into Good Girls too.
Who?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Okay. Yeah.
I just finished Never Have I Ever.
Okay.
Y'all seen that one?
I got such a new season. I just finished The Chi. The Chi was good.
That too.
Yes. Well, it's still on. It's on each week. Yep. The new episode airs.
See, I don't have cable, so I'll be using this little online app called Movie Box. So when they update, I can watch the episodes.
So let's jump back for a second because I was going to ask you, growing up, like as a teenager, did you have any favorite authors or books that got you through?
Ones that I was not supposed to be reading.
Sex books.
Huh?
All them sex books growing up.
Coldest Winter Ever,
Yeah.
Fly Girl.
Actually, Coldest Winter Ever was
Yeah.
one that I read in reading the Zane Chronicles.
Oh yeah, the same shit.
I was not supposed to be reading those at 12 years old,
We
but I remember it was so good. Like the Coldest Winter Ever, we were like passing the book around school, and it was just like, oh, this is juicy.
I actually let somebody borrow mine and never got it back like 2 years ago. I'm so mad.
Are you watching on the line?
We had the what's it called, the Bullfrog
I'm making
series?
sure that it's actually showing.
It was Blueford. Something Blueford.
Like the hood book?
Yes.
Oh my
in
God.
our library. Like
Shout out to
YA.
Junie B. Jones. Okay, the B stands for Beatrice.
Okay.
Mine was Chicken Noodle Soup for the Soul for teenagers. Like that's actually the short stories in there were really good. And then I got into poetry too. So I used to write a lot of poetry when I was, in high school and stuff like that.
That's what's up. Yeah. Once I hit like high school, I just stopped reading unless it was for class.
I started reading in
I
high
still
school.
read to this day. Right now I'm into Ashley Antoinette. Like, oh my God. She has it's Moth to a Flame. It goes to the Ethics series and then to the Butterfly series. So okay, so another question. Bowling or the movies?
Bowling is.
I feel
But
like
that walk back,
It's so awkward.
rolling the ball is awkward.
Especially if you
Everybody
miss
watching.
Yeah, I like, be like, don't look at me.
Yeah.
I like bowling, but I feel like is more fun when it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then it kind of get old quick because it's like everybody start
Walking off.
going
walking
to
off,
sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
On their phones.
So I say movies. I like actually going to the movies.
Yeah,
Me
yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'm a bowling type of person because movies, I feel like I can do that at home. So I don't want to do something I can do at home.
It's just like
It's a big
it's like the
screen.
feeling
Yeah.
of being in the cinema to me.
Yeah, when the
Cause
new movies come out and you anxious to see them.
And then it,
But
if
then
it-
they-
if it would be this packed, it's like
Yeah.
a lot.
But then they
people
say-
like,
That's why you
like-
got first.
But then they say stream this on HBO Max. So this is on HBO Max.
Well,
And
it's just the pandemic though. Like, and I don't like the Fire Stick because same way with the computer, when they get the lag and I
Oh,
lose
yeah.
interest
Oh.
quick and I be so disappointed.
When Black Panther came out, yeah,
that was an experience.
that was like
That was a
everybody
core
in the
memory.
theater. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we gotta go see the second part.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm definitely a bowling person, but the bowling alley has to be lit. Like when we went to Nashville and they had like the DJ and all that stuff, whatever,
Yes.
like that.
Bowling, I
Slow
love
bowling,
it.
like that was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. But don't take me just to some raggedy bowling alley and it's just they playing rock and
No,
roll
South
music. And,
Oh, Miracle Lanes.
Now, Miracle Lane-
Valerio.
now Miracle Lanes is lit because they do have they
No,
play
I
like a
love
variety of music. But I don't like going to the bowling alley where it's like it's nothing.
Well, I got a good one. Chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Chicken.
They don't even know what I'm talking about.
Like,
Look, y'all teenagers, college life noodles.
Yeah.
Chicken
Yeah,
or beef?
chicken noodles.
Oh, I can enjoy me a beef noodle
Okay,
with
see?
some hot sauce.
Okay. Chicken myself, but
I told you, chicken got a strong hold on my people.
I eat beef on the occasion, so chicken.
I can eat chicken, like regular chicken, 6 days a week. That one day gotta be tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos never
Air
get
fryer.
old. Tacos.
Okay, I got one for y'all. Jordans or Forces?
Jordan.
Jordan.
Horses.
Only because only because I don't like I've never really had a pair of Air Forces. Like everybody and have so many white pairs of Air Forces.
It's like you have
Or
to
the
keep
black
buying them
ones.
first of all.
Yeah.
And like the different variations of forces that they come out with don't be hit. So it's just like
And she back
Jordan.
there talking about the black ones. If she put on the black ones,
I was about to say, you about to
No,
rob
you're not
somebody.
doing it.
You about to kick a dough for sure. Kicking dough since the black was on.
communication no longer working. What you want?
She probably wears it in Starbucks.
Right, though.
Absolutely not. I have a pair of white forces and that's it.
I have an obsession with Crocs.
Or Crocs.
Okay.
I love Crocs.
I don't have a pair of Crocs.
They're comfortable.
I just got me some new Jiffits.
So you put the little emblems on there and everything? Oh, you see. I didn't pay
Give me a
attention.
pair of furry socks and some Crocs. I'm good to go.
I saw a pair of Crocs when we were in Nashville. They were
Yeah.
Wu-Tang and they didn't have my size and I was so upset.
Yes.
I wear a 10 and a half. They had everything before and after my size.
My
There
favorite
you go.
artist is SZA, and they came out with a pair of SZA Crocs.
Oh,
Pockets was a little empty, and I was just like, man,
I really want them.
they were so cute too.
Yeah, I wanted the Wu-Tang ones. I was like, I wonder if I can squeeze my foot.
Oh, no, I'm like,
Damn.
I got a 9.5. Let me get that.
I was like, man, let me just get that 11 and a half real quick. It's gonna be flopping off my foot, but at least I have one. It was crazy. So before we let y'all go, we tell the people why we should add y'all to the Mud Talk family.
Well, from doing this audition, I think we all got great chemistry. I think the
Yeah.
segment would be so interesting.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just-
It's exciting. This is new to us, like having a live stream and
Yeah.
like having the actual microphones and stuff like that. I feel like we could like really go somewhere with this.
And our personalities, like y'all class together.
Mm.
And I like how like just topics y'all was bringing up, like we can bank off of them just naturally,
Mhm.
and nothing seems forced.
Absolutely. We don't like to force nothing on here. So
Not at all.
so let's give them a topic and we're gonna see how they do. Okay, y'all ready?
Oh.
Y'all know I'm coming with the hot stuff.
Right now.
All right, so let's give them a topic. So what should we do? What's a good topic?
Stress.
Okay, so let's talk about stress. So let's talk about teens and stress. You know, college life. You
Mhm.
guys were talking about earlier about how you were seniors in high school at the time. It was stressful. So let's talk about that. So why do you think that teens go through so much stress senior high school?
Looking for colleges.
Well, let's just start. How about
Yeah,
you started your senior year with losing a parent?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh, sorry for
that's
your loss.
tragic. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. I think I was already going through stuff before. That's like before senior year, and then on top of that, my mom had passed away. So it's like, do I go to college now? Will I have time to grieve the death of my mom, it's like I was thinking about a lot of stuff. So that was very stressful.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it was kind of like we so close. Like she was like a second mom to us. Like our moms were friends. We was all friends. So it was kind of just like, dang, like this is a hard blow. Like,
Like I said,
and it was too close to home. I said this ain't happening.
it's like you would think it would never happen to you. It's like,
yeah,
Right.
and it's like senior year supposed to be fun, and you get to like start your life and stuff like that. And then it was just like, oh no, we gonna run that back just a little bit.
Yeah.
But so we was dealing with that and just like trying to get FAFSAs done and trying to get into college and trying to make sure we stay on top of our schoolwork. Because like even though senior year was laid back, like if you laid back a little too much, you ain't gonna graduate. So
Right.
Yeah, I feel like I felt like senior year was gonna be easy. It wasn't, especially like what I was doing in high school. Like I was in this program and you just like had to be on top of your stuff and trying to work and do school. That's really hard. Like some days you would get off late. I guess it depends on like where you work, but and it was like taking a toll on my schoolwork. So I would come in school slacking, wanting to fall asleep in class, and it was just starting to be a lot.
Right.
and then like some kids that we went to school with, like we don't really know their story. It was kind of like you either came to school or you didn't, and it's like no. Like nobody's gonna come to school and be like, oh, you have to take care of my little siblings because my mom had to work their shift or whatever, and I couldn't make it to school, or like, just like I have no clothes, I have no ride. It's just like a lot that goes into like trying to survive school, and that's how you get people that don't graduate, that people that drop out, and people that fall into the wrong crowds, and it's just like the community they based around the people that's around them, like not enough encouragement and like ways to release stress in a healthy way. People just like bottle it all up and just keep it pushing. Really, like talk to somebody,
Right.
talk to your friends, get a counselor, a psychiatrist, something. Like therapy is not as bad as it seems.
it's like
Right.
senior year can be really good or really bad.
Yeah.
So that was my next question. What are some outlets that allowed you guys to alleviate that stress?
Let's talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
being around positive things and positive people and just trying to find your balance. Music still is a big help to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm quick to throw my AirPods in. Don't talk to
Man.
me, please, because I'm trying to recollect myself.
Yeah.
Right.
And just like having that stability at home as well.
Yeah, I feel like we
Like-
all got great support systems now.
And not a lot of kids got that, so
And I'm personally in therapy, so like, soon as something go down, I'm like, I need to talk to you. Like, my counselor always like, yeah, I'm always available to, you call me, you text me, whatever like that. We'll talk about it. I write like stuff that if I can't get to him, I always write it down so I won't forget. So
Okay. So with dealing with the stress and with the loss of her mom, how did you guys deal with that? Like, how did you handle the stress? What did you guys do as far as making sure self-caring and taking care of yourself? How did you guys handle that?
I'm still dealing with the stress. I'm trying to like find things that I like to do for self care because I think these past couple months have been very like hectic in a way. And I'm just trying to quiet my mind and
Absolutely.
find things that I like. Stuff like that.
yeah, and then we always there for each other. So it's just like she'd be like, oh, I'm having like a tough time or stuff like that. And we would just be like, we come, because I live around the corner from her and she live on the side of town, but we always just there.
yeah.
So we always just there for each other. Like we our own like little therapists for each other.
Right. And you guys said the podcast you guys have too was therapeutic for you, right?
Yeah.
So not to get too personal, did that happen around the time you guys were starting the podcast or?
We did one episode and then that happened. So
Okay.
it was a long time. It's a long gap between the first and the second episode. So when we came back for the second episode, it's just like
That's what
it was like tense because we wanted to talk about it because like it happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we didn't want it to be like a whole drawn out thing because it was still fresh.
Right.
Like real fresh.
And
So,
I just know how she get. And as soon as she start, I start, and it's just like we're gonna inform y'all about what happened. We're gonna have a moment of silence, but we just can't go into that right now.
Right.
Yeah. Trying to be like strong for each other because like every day she'd text me and I'd be like, you gotta keep going. Like it's gonna be hard. You can be 30 and still grieving, but
Absolutely.
you gotta keep going.
So what tips would you give to any youth who are watching right now who are dealing with stress? Because this may be their senior year or, even one who just graduated and is beginning college. What tips would you give them as far as how to handle stress?
self-care.
Yeah.
And talk to somebody about stuff you're going through. And or like if you don't want to talk to nobody, write it in your notes.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to let that out.
Yeah.
Even though if you feel like nobody understands, you never like that's another thing. You won't think that everybody's going through their own stuff, and you wouldn't think that nobody would care, but you never know. You can meet somebody and that person can help you. Y'all can benefit each other. So I
Y'all
just
be going through the same stuff and never know because you won't never say nothing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like vlogging. I know we be joking around, be like vlogging on our phones, but like actually
But, like,
record
really
yourself talking.
talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what's so interesting with this new generation that I love so much is that even though there's youth out there who use social media for a bad thing, there are a lot of people who use social media for good things. And I think about, when I was growing up, MySpace had just started popping, you know what I'm saying? And Facebook, you had to be in college to even have a Facebook profile. But I just think back to how we really didn't have necessarily an outlet, kind of how like they do as far as the social media, because we didn't have the cell phone with the nice cameras and all the stuff we have now. And so it's so interesting. Thank you for welcoming to my shot. But it's so interesting to hear this generation say, I use my cell phone for self-care to vlog or to talk to my therapist online or to even start a podcast and get those emotions out. So I think it's super dope what you guys are doing and using technology for the right way. And, I hope that it encourages our youth to use technology for the right way and not constantly filming somebody fighting or doing something stupid and crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's why we got y'all, right?
Yeah.
We got y'all. So,
and I even like my self-care apps like I Am and meditation and stuff like that, because I think it's very important to speak positivity within yourself, like to yourself, and I think that's very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna give y'all one more topic and then we're gonna close out. So
I gotta do my advice at the end.
Oh, you do? Oh, yes, I love this segment. All right. So we have seen, well, actually, we're going to do this week. So this week is actually Suicide Prevention Week. And we've known that since the pandemic, we have seen an increase in youth suicides and depression and whatnot. With that being said, why do you think so many teens since the pandemic has happened are going through these thoughts and feeling this way as far as depression and, just feeling maybe they don't feel like they're worthy?
Well, speaking from a personal experience, my stress and depression actually started in quarantine my junior year. We were online and I had been through some stuff prior to going online. So I had just moved schools and then they was like, nope, you gotta go home. And I was just like, well, dang, I can't really start over how I want to start over. And I had got all these honors classes. So I was just like, okay, it's going to be online. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great. Then it just went down here from there. I was failing and it was just bad. I had got depression and stuff like that. And I had had my intrusive thoughts and it was just too much. And so it's just the pandemic put a hold on our lives. So it's just our high school, we only had maybe 2 normal years of high school, which is our freshman and our senior year. Everything else is just a big wash. So I think it's kind of just we missed out on this time, the memories, the fun, and everything like that. And then some of us taking care of our siblings. My dad is a teacher, so when he was teaching his class, I was trying to get to class and get my little brothers in class too. So it was that on top of my schoolwork. It was just a lot of stress and not being able to see my friends, especially if I'm a big extrovert. So just me being in the house with 6 people, I don't think so. I got to get out of here, but I can't really do nothing because this pandemic is that large.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that the pandemic with the combination of where you were going through in school that kind of just encompassed, how you were feeling and depression, you think that was a trigger for all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like I've had the symptoms of depression or having just not being able to feel things normally because of my grandmother had passed and I was dealing with stuff with my mom and then it was just a big roller coaster. So it was just it wasn't as big as it was my junior year. It might have been a little bit a start of it, but then junior year hit and it was full effect.
Yeah. And being in the pandemic, you really don't have anywhere to go because we all were so used to just being able to go, and that kind of helps you put those thoughts to the side. But when you don't have nowhere to go, you can't go see anybody. You have nothing to do but sit in your thoughts for hours and hours.
I definitely think the suicide rate increased during COVID because of isolation. A lot of people aren't used to being alone, and a lot of people struggle with it, so that becomes hard.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of teens was feeling that way because like our generation, we so used to being with our friends and just being out. So it was like for me, I was stressing. Like I feel like I was depressed too. Like it was just lonely being in a house, and where I was working, I actually had to quarantine because somebody at my job had it, and like my family, they was real scared about like it was at that time they was real scared about COVID. So even though I didn't have it, I had to quarantine. It was just like I couldn't see my family, like my baby sister, me and her so close, and she want to come in and just bring me down because I can't let her in. But just being in that room to yourself all day and scrolling through social media apps gets old. And it was just like, but that's all we knew. So
Right. And everything, like you said, was virtual. I mean, at one point in time, I mean, you were doing job interviews virtual, and I was just like, okay, now.
They had live DJ parties.
Yes, everything was virtual. I mean, even like soap operas were virtual, and Murray and Jerry Springer. I was like, okay, this is too much. So
Wilding Out
was virtual. I'm just like, this is a lot. There were a lot of shows that were virtual. I mean, it was at one point. I felt like watching the versus battle was cool at first, and then after a while, I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
When it started getting a little too overproduced for me, I was like, they have a full-fledged concerts. Like, they out here changing outfits. Omarion out here eating watermelon on stage. Like, it's just too much. It was just too much. So, well, you have any other questions for them?
No, I don't.
No. All right. Well, before we let y'all go, Miss Shay has our segment that we like to call Shay with the shh. Okay? This is the team version. I'll say the real thing on Friday, but it's called Shay with the shh. And it's where she gives you some advice, some motivation, and some inspirational, tips for y'all. So
yes, okay. So today I just have a couple pieces of advice because I myself have teenagers at home, and I would, tell them the same thing. So the one would be seek help when things get to be too much. You always want to reach out, let people know what you're going through, and maybe they can help. Saying no is fine. That's a big one. If it's something you don't want to do, set that boundary, say no, and stick to it. Stay open-minded to the views and opinions of other people. Everybody has a right to feel the way they want to feel, and if it's something you don't like or don't agree with, you can agree to disagree or just simply walk away. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't rush to grow up. These bills, we talked about that. The worst thing I could have said was, I can't wait to be grown.
My son's grown. I'm still paying his bills.
Listen, you a good one.
Well, Marquise has a job now, so I'm done with that. But
my kid have a job too. She's still in my pocket.
Yeah, I mean, he's grown, but they really stay with you until you turn like, what is that, 24, 25, like when you're insurance and all that stuff.
26.
Boom. See, they know. Look, Zoe knew that. She like, I got how many more years left? Listen.
Because me and my dad were just talking about that because I get healthcare coverage at my job. And I said, oh, no, I'm saying it's on 26. Then we can decide if I want to get out here healthcare insurance.
Right.
Yes. I remember one time my mom was so mad at me when I had first started teaching. So I started teaching when I was like 22, 23. So I'm like, yes, I get some benefits, some salary. And they asked if you want to healthcare, and I declined it. And she's like, why would you do that? I'm like, because I'm still with 26. That means more money in my paychecks.
Yeah.
Guess what? She was very upset, so I never do that again.
Another piece of advice I would say is start your 401k now, because it's never too early to start planning, start preparing for your future.
Absolutely.
And anything can happen. Who knows? You might build that thing up and retire at 40. Okay.
Okay. And start your savings too.
Yes,
so if you don't have a savings account, please get your savings.
Put something, even if it's $5 a week.
Yes.
Life insurance, yes, all of that.
But we are not doing no fish dinners to supply nobody's free pass.
Spaghetti and shrimp.
I mean, we will have to, but if we don't have to, then we not going to. Okay.
If you're trying to build up some generational wealth over here, break generational curses.
Yes, and there are tons of apps out here that can help you, with saving money or learning how to save money. I can tell you right now, I ain't afraid to say it. I have a Chime bank account. I love Chime because let me tell you, Chime makes sure they put money away every time I get paid or even get some money.
Oh yeah.
And I can tell you right now, when I was at Huntington, I was not thinking about that. I was just swiping that debit card. But now that I physically have Chime and I can see, I'm like, ooh. No, I might have to cancel that Apple Music subscription this month because I ain't even got it.
Apple know how to hit you too. I swear to God.
I was just
about to know how to hit you.
Oh, they sure do. Because
$9.99.
Yes.
That 14.
Look, they would you about to think you about to do something special, and that little $9.99 come out. I'm like, man.
Somebody sent me some money through Apple Pay. Apple Pay was like, "Oh, you owe for your music, this, and this."
Yeah,
Took all their stuff. I'm like, wait a minute.
I just knew I was about to give me a 6-piece fried heart.
Right. Not today.
Not today, you're not. All right, y'all. But do y'all have any questions for us before y'all leave?
Anything y'all want to say?
Anything y'all want to say? Y'all want to know about us?
Anybody y'all want to shout out?
Yes.
Shout out, Rich Lovers. Go get y'all some merch.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Shout out to the Piece in the Pod, because you know,
Yeah.
we up and coming. We out here.
Okay.
Shout out Mud Talk.
Hey, thank you. Yes, shout out Mud Talk. And we gotta shout y'all out for even coming out here and talking with us and
being patient with us.
Being patient with us through all our technical difficulties.
We want to thank y'all for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes, and we're gonna send this to y'all so y'all can upload it to y'all own podcast, and we're gonna upload them 2 hours too. We'll send y'all the links so y'all can promote and do all that stuff, whatever. I feel like we might have our host already, but I'm not gonna be biased though. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be fair. We are equal opportunity employer. You know what I'm saying?
So if you feel like you could do better than these 3 young ladies, hit us up. You can inbox the Mud Talk page, call our number 419-827-8255, or text us for your audition.
Yes, or you can email us too at mudtalk419@gmail.com. I just used it. That's how I remember it.
I was piggybacking off you. I ain't even gonna lie.
All right, y'all. Well, coming up this Friday on Mud Talk, we do have a very special guest. We have domestic violence prevention advocate Unique Johnson. She's also an author. She's also an entrepreneur. She's going to be coming in talking about domestic violence, how to overcome domestic violence, and also a little bit about her journey, her story. And then, of course, I got Tips with T, where I'm going to give you my 5 things on what not to do when you spot somebody's DM. And you got?
I got my Shay with the Shit
She
segment
got
going
Shay
on.
with the Shit segment.
And then we have our very special new segment for you guys airing this Friday.
Yes, Aaron.
Called Ask the White Girl.
Yes. A lot of y'all have been seeing us promote that on social media. We got a lot of interesting responses. So, yeah,
and we also got some new questions. So
yeah, we do. We got some new questions. So
we can't wait to hear that.
Yes, and then we'll also have Toledo's own gospel artist, Cristo Nelly. Please don't kill me if I pronounce that wrong. I think I did. But I'll fix it on Friday, I promise. But we're going to be debuting her new song on the show. And we're going to need that this Friday. We need something uplifting after the heavy stuff we're going to be talking about.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, I'll have my this or that questions, keep y'all laughing.
Yes. So this month is going to be a great month. We got Unique Johnson, and then we have Councilman Woman Bernice Williams, who's going to be coming in 2 weeks after that. We're going to be asking her some good questions because I want some tea about what's going on with City Council. I don't know if she's going to tell me. It might be classified information like the Trump documents. I don't know.
Oh,
that's all I'm going to say about that, all right?
G4 classified.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm Big T.
And I'm Shay Renee.
And this is the only show that keeps your ears to the streets.
While you grind in the 419.
All right, we'll see y'all this Friday, September 9th at 8 p.m. right here for the season 2 premiere.
We out.
Deuces.
I think.
No, shit slow.
Is it done?
Nope. Time
Nope.
is still going on.
I'm red in the background. They'll never shout me out.
Well, we need for you to get out the background.
I gotta run everything. Well, it's not ended. End.